Well, hi guys. Well, it's Monday. It's Martin Luther King's birthday, and I don't know if you guys are observing that or not. Don't mind Cole. He just jumps back and forth because he's excited because this is the first time we got out of the house today. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're just not getting out. The reason why we're just not getting out is because I slept half the day already, so that took us to about noon to 1 o'clock or something, and then when I finally got up and got myself together, phone rings. It's my neighbor from across the street. It's a lady that's across the street. She's an elderly lady, and she was calling because her hot water tank was leaking water. So I've came over there before to light her pilot light because her pilot light went out. So she gave me a call, and I went over there to check it out and whatever. I was able to take care of the pilot light. Didn't go out and whatever, but my pilot light went out on my hot water tank. I don't know why it did that. Whether mine isn't leaking, it's pretty much new because I installed it myself. So anyway, I'm waiting to get through this traffic or whatever. But anyway, sorry about that. I can't multitask. I don't want to tear my car up while I'm sitting here trying to make a video. But anyway, I took care of that. All I had to do was sop up the water and everything, whatever, and I turned the water line that goes into the hot water tank, tightened it up a little bit with the pliers, and so she should be good to go. But then I came back and I had to relight my pilot light on my hot water tank. I may need to change the thermocoupler or whatever, but my hot water tank is brand new. I installed it myself, like I said, maybe a year or two ago. I installed it myself. I put a brand new one in there. I got a bigger one because the one I had was I think it's like a 30-gallon tank or whatever. But the one I put in there is like a 60 or a 90-gallon tank. Well, it's bigger because it barely fit in there. I got the best I could get, whatever, because of the money I saved by doing it myself. I was able to get the top of the line water tank or whatever and everything. So, that worked out good. When you can do stuff on your own, you're self-sufficient. That's what prepping is all about. So anyway, I took care of that, and then got ready to go, and just so happens that I got this I got Cole a heating blanket, and the heating blanket I had plugged into the cigarette lighter, and usually when I get out of the truck and we get home, I take that out because I don't want to run it on the battery while I'm not in the truck. And I've done it before, but it's usually no problem because I'm driving every day, so it gets the chance to charge back up again or whatever. But so happened I didn't go anywhere today, and it ran the battery down. So by that running the battery down, when I came out with my remote to try to start to open the car, it wouldn't work because the battery was too weak to pop the lock. And my key doesn't work in the door because, at some point somebody tried to steal this truck or whatever, and they broke the lock mechanism, so I can't use the key to get in. So I had to call AAA to come and get me into my truck. But I always have AAA guys, $100, and you got 6 times you can call them throughout the year. And then they'll come and unlock your car. If you lock yourself the keys in, they'll give you gas if you run out of gas and you're stuck with no gas. Your battery dies. They'll come and give you a jump. They'll change your tire. All that. You don't have to pay nothing. You get 5 times they'll do that for you, and they will tow you up to 100 miles to wherever you want to go. So if you're stuck somewhere, your car stops on you, or you breaks down on you somewhere, and you're far from home, whatever, they'll tow you up to 100 miles to where, wherever you want to go. So they'll tow you back to your house, so at least you get back home, And as long as you've got 5, tows left or whatever, if you don't use all 5 of your tows, you can use them for other people. So say if somebody you work with, their car breaks down on them or whatever, their battery's dead or something, or they lock their keys in their car, they'll come out and take care of them for you with no charge. You don't have to pay anything. And I've done that a few times on jobs or whatever, So, that's a good thing to have. So if you can get AAA, pay that money, that $100 or whatever it is, and you get 5 for the year, for the whole year. So yes, do that, guys. But anyway, I did that. They came, they unlocked the car. They had to give me a jump because my battery was dead. And I went on ahead and started the truck up and everything. I let it run. I just let it run so that it could charge up. I'm at the dollar store right now, and I'm gonna leave it running out here while I go inside and get a few things. And it's gonna be a few things because I don't have much money. But dollar store, money goes pretty far in a dollar store. Turn my lights off. And so I'm gonna go in here and get me a few things. I'm gonna leave the car running. I'm gonna leave the heat on for Cole. He should be all right because he's very protective of this car. So nobody's gonna mess with this car while I'm gone. So anyway, I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got my goodies. And man, it got dark that little time it took me to run in there and come back. But anyway, so I'm going to work tomorrow, back to the same job. The guys that we work for, they were supposed to be turning our time in, and the people that the temp service called us today and asked us what's going on with the time, whether they didn't receive the time. So those assholes didn't turn our time in, so they didn't have our time. So they said they called them and tried to get in touch with them, but they couldn't get in touch with them. They said, but when we go in tomorrow to ask them, what's going on with the time or whatever, I thought about that. I'm like, what? Shouldn't we have had something, with our time on it so we could, do our time and everything? But I'm thinking that they took care of it. But obviously they didn't. So when we go back tomorrow, I'm gonna talk to them about it, whatever, Now, I would be pissed off, but I've had a few days to cool off because I was suspecting this, Friday. I'm like, they may not, give us our time the way they should, whatever, because we didn't fill nothing out and whatever, and we didn't do it ourselves. There's no time paper to write anything down on or whatever. So I figured it was gonna be some okie doke in the mix or whatever. So, I was like, okay, no problem. Well, I'll just call. Let's find out Monday what's going on or whatever. So Monday happened to be the holiday, so we don't go to work until tomorrow. So I'll ask them tomorrow what's going on, see what's happening with that and everything or whatever. But the other job they got that's really close to me, that might be an option. I might go and deal with that. And that job was going to be midnights or whatever. So I was planning on going there and working midnights, and then getting off and working on the other job, the tire job, in the morning, after work, woman, do the 2-job thing for, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or however long I can tolerate it, and get my money back up or whatever, get my stuff together and everything. But we'll see. They changed it where they say, well, we can get you in on days, So I'm like, okay, I'll go in on days, So that worked out good because on days we can both work there. So we're both going to work midnight, but we'll see what happens, But I can't wait until this, job ends or whatever. But like I said, if I get less than 32 hours this week, 30 hours this week, because then I'm heading for the hills. I cannot deal with it, because there was a lot of warning signs, that this wasn't going to work out on this job. A lot of warning signs. Number one was when everything worked out good, the first day, because I didn't mind sitting there waiting or whatever to start working or whatever, Then we finally got started. We went ahead and knocked it out, and then we went on and left. We got paid for the time we were sitting there waiting or whatever. I have no problem with sitting around waiting and being on the clock. As long as I'm on the clock, I'm good. So anyway, the second day we got there ready to go to work, and they didn't have their stuff together, So we ended up having to follow him to a different job, which he left us at a different light, you know, and act like he was trying to escape from us or whatever, instead of having somebody following him or whatever. You know, I went off on him on that one, you know, but then we ended up getting to the other place or whatever. They didn't have anything for us, so then we had to come on back and then wait for the materials to get there. Then when the materials got there, they rushed us to get it done or whatever. You know, they didn't really rush us. They weren't like on our back. They were like helping us, you know, when they should have been just letting us do the work and we were standing back and letting us work. They were helping us, so we got done extra fast, so we only got 4 hours, you know. And I don't appreciate that. I want to get 8 hours. If I drive all the way to a job or whatever, you know, and it's supposed to be an 8-hour shift, I expect to get 8 hours for that day's shift or whatever. And he didn't give us a minute over what we did, whatever. Matter of fact, we stopped at like 11:10, 11:15. He paid us for 11 o'clock, you know. Which, I mean, usually when I'm on a job over, we work a little over like that, they'll go in and give us the extra 30 minutes or whatever, you know, so that was a warning sign right there, you know. And plus the questions they ask. A certain question, you can tell a lot about a person by the questions they ask. You remember this is a saying, it may not have been, somebody might have said this, but I'm saying it, you know, just attribute that to me. You can always tell about a person by the questions they ask. You can't tell nothing by the answers they answer, because they can always lie. You know, people lie all the time. Well, you ask them a question, you ain't gonna find nothing by asking them a question, because they'll lie. You know, but the questions they ask, you know what's on their mind when they ask questions. Number one, the guy asked me, "How tall am I?" The hell got that got to do with anything, whatever? It doesn't matter how tall I am. You're never gonna catch up. You know, you're in your 50s. You know, you ain't gonna catch up. Nothing you can do. You know, what are you gonna do? Go to I'm going to the doctor to get my legs extended and whatever, so I need to be able to tell him that I want to be 6'2" like you know, so the doctor will know how much to extend my legs or whatever, you know. No, you're not gonna get an extension, and there's nothing you can do to make me shrink down. I'm the size I am, and that's it, whatever, you know. People always want to size you up or whatever, you know. God blessed me with this height and the stamina and the strength to be able to work and whatever, and that's all on him, you know. You jealous of that and whatever, you know, you take that up with God. That ain't my fault, you know. That's God with it. I appreciate it and whatever, you know. That's why I walk with my head erect and I stand tall or whatever, because I appreciate what God gave me, because not everybody is my height and whatever, and I appreciate having the height that I've got and whatever, everything, whatever. But I don't size myself up or whatever, you know. So, but anyway, that was a sign right there. You don't ask somebody how tall they are. I mean, you look at me, okay, you're taller than me. That's all you need to know. You know, you don't need to know the exact damn number. What good is that going to do you? That's nothing. You know, it doesn't do you any good to know how tall somebody is. You know, they're taller than you. That's all you need to know. You know how tall you are. Get over it. You know, everybody's trying to measure themselves and trying to compare and whatever. Then they asked me, well, they asked her if she has any kids or whatever. They want to know what your kids, if you had any kids or whatever, you know. That's a question. That's money. They're trying to figure out how much money you got. If somebody asks you a question about how many kids you got, they want to know how much money you got. Because for every kid you got, that's less money you've got. Whatever. If you don't have any kids, you're balling. You know. Plus, they ask, you know, where do you live and whatever. You know. I usually let that slide, because usually they're trying to find out. But that's still a money question or whatever. Where you live depends on how much money you're spending or whatever, on where you live or whatever. That's another question that's none of nobody's business. But I let that one slide, because that's just general. People ask, well, what part of town are you coming from or whatever. They may want to know, you know, how long it's going to take you to get to work or whatever. If you're going to be dependable, if you're too far, you're not going to, you know, show up or whatever. You know, I can understand that. That made sense. You know, I let that one slide. But then they asked, what was the other question? Let me think. We're home now. But anyway, the other question was, I'm trying to think what that question is. Oh, well, if you got any kids, whatever. Well, usually when they ask if you got any kids, they're trying to figure out how much money you got, and they're trying to figure out your age, because if you say you've got kids, the next thing going to be out of their mouth is, how old are they? You know, so that'll give them an idea how old you are. You know, stop trying to size me up or whatever. Just live your fucking life and do what you gotta do. Take care of your bills, take care of your responsibilities, and leave me the hell alone. You know, it's none of your business what I've got going on in my life or whatever. You know, it's not going to affect you in any way. It's none of your business. You know, so. But anyway, I forgot what the other question was, but I don't like getting asked that question because it's none of nobody's business. You know. Oh yeah, they asked us so when you guys getting married? Well, they know we're not married because we got different names, last names or whatever. We ride together, so they figure we're together. So they're like, when you guys getting married? I had to shut them down on that one. I'm like, man, that ain't none of your business or whatever, you know. So hey, sometimes the lion has to let people know who he is, you know. So I was like, you know, I was not nice about that. I let him know that I didn't appreciate that damn question. I was like, man, I tell you what, when you pay for my hotel room and pay for me a nice crispy folded shirt to wear and take care of my meals and everything, whatever, then I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You ask any question you want, whatever, you know, because then we'll be on the Jerry Springer show and you know, they take the Jerry Springer, they take care of them people. They buy them lunch, they get them a place to stay, or get them a hotel room for a couple of days or whatever, and they take care of all their meals. That's why they ask them all them questions or whatever. You know, you didn't pay me nothing, you didn't give me no meals, you didn't pay no hotel fee, so you don't get to ask me nothing. You know, so you can forget about that. Whatever, you're done with the questions. You know, that's how I tell people off or whatever, because that pisses me off. You don't need to know anything about me. If anything you need to know, if I don't tell you, it ain't none of your business. You know, and if you have to ask, I hope you don't mind me asking, then yeah, I mind you asking. If you have to ask that before you ask a question, you know, that's something that ain't none of your business. You don't need to ask that question or whatever. They're trying to feel you out. They're trying to see, you know, how they can use you, how far they can get with you or whatever. You know, that's a narcissist kind of question or whatever. That's the kind of question narcissists ask. You know, I would never ask anybody any of those questions because I don't give a damn. I don't care. You know, how many kids somebody got, well, I don't care. I'm not a pedophile, so I'm not interested in kids or whatever, so I don't care. You know, I'm never going to be, you know, around them. I'm not going to be babysitting and none of that bullshit and whatever. So why would I care about how many kids a person has? Unless I'm trying to figure out, you know, their money, their income or whatever, or what's going on with their life, with their responsibilities or whatever. Maybe on a job they want to know because this guy's really motivated because he got mouths to feed. That may be the reason why. But I don't like those questions. I don't like those questions at all. You know, and people that ask those kind of questions usually they're narcissists or they're sociopaths because they're trying to get into your psyche, into your life, or whatever, and figure out what's going on with you and whatever, figure out how they can use you, how they can manipulate you, how they can take advantage of you and everything. And those kind of questions you shouldn't answer, you know. But anyway, you know, I let it go and whatever. But now after this happened, that I didn't get paid, whatever. And remember now, we're both working together, so they're counting our money. They're like, okay, you know, he's making this much, she's making this much too, and whatever. That's double the income coming into the same household, you know. You know, they're working there. They're only one person. They're only making that money. Whatever. A lot of people can't work with their partners or whatever. They can't work with their woman, you know, and they're jealous of your relationship because we got a good relationship. We don't fight and fuss at each other, and we don't give each other any problems, and we're able to work together and help each other out. Well, people can't stand that, and demons definitely can't stand it. You know, demons do not like to see, you know, couples getting along and being able to exist together. They can't stand to see that and whatever, you know. So that's going to give them a problem or whatever. But it's okay because the temp service said that they're going to be getting us in that other job or whatever. They want us on that job or whatever. And I want to go now, you know, especially since how we're going to be working, you know, days as opposed to midnights and whatever. But anyway, that's all I got to say. It just turned out to be a damn rant and whatever. I didn't mean to make rants, but I try to stay positive. But I'm just letting you guys in on, you know, what's going on with my situation and everything. Well, things are going to work out because I know that things are going to work out. That's just the way it is. You know, things always work out for me and whatever. So, you know, I mean, but there's going to be stumbling blocks thrown in my way and because demons are alive and well in the world and they're going to come after you. You know, if you try to do right and try to be a good person and try to take care of business, demons are going to be in your ass all the time. And you just got to navigate through them or whatever, you know. Now, if you're a devil yourself or whatever, if you're a demon yourself, if you're a narcissist, you know, an evil person or whatever, demons ain't going to bother you. You're going to have a nice, easy life or whatever, you know. But, of course, the demons will pay you for your services or whatever. And you're not going to like your pay because they pay you with misery, you know. When your payment when you serve the devil and you serve demons and you entertain them, your payment is misery. They pay you with misery. So when you get that misery coming down to you, just realize that that's your payment. So anyway, Cole is sitting here relaxing. He's probably pissed off at me because it's starting to rain. It's like a freezing rain. I can hear it. Like sounds like needles falling on my car or whatever. But anyway, we're back home. So I'm getting ready to go in. I'm gonna upload this video for you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.